Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So it's important to learn how to be assertive. You can't let people push you around, obviously. That's playground bullshit. You need to grow out of that. As you get older, as you go through life, you need to be able to stand up for yourself. You need to be able to tell people when enough is enough. I don't like that. You don't talk to me that way, or whatever you're feeling in your heart. When you know when you're feeling uncomfortable, when somebody's crossed a line with you, when somebody is belittling you, talking down to you, you can feel it. Most people can. It's really annoying to have to talk to people, especially guys, grown men. Talk to guys in their 40s, and they whine and complain about somebody at their work who talks down to them, who treats them weird, who bullies them, who says things they don't like. And when I will mention to them, well, you got to say something to them. You got to nip that in the bud. You can't let that continue. They turn into big wimps and they're like, oh, well, it's okay. You can't set the stage for allowing people to treat you like shit. If you do that, you go through life like that. You emasculate yourself. You have to be able to stand up for yourself. You have to be able to tell people how you're feeling. Whether it's somebody you know well in your family or somebody you just met. You have to be able to draw your boundaries. It's important to have defined boundaries of what you'll accept and what you'll tolerate and what you won't. You can still be a nice person. You can laugh and have a good time with people. But it's really important to be able to say when it's necessary, I don't like that. And to be able to say it in a firm, confident way. You don't want to blow up. See, this is what happens. A lot of emasculated men, beta males, they'll suck it up. And they'll take the abuse, they'll take it, and then one day they just go crazy. One day they blow up and they scream and yell. And usually that's a bunch of incoherent bullshit. They stomp out of the room, they do this at the office or wherever, social scenes with their family. And if it's somebody that loves you, maybe they'll come after you or call you or try to figure out, like Sherlock Holmes, what was wrong with you. And you have to get down to the crux of it. And usually, 9 times out of 10, it can be solved with the simple, oh, sorry, I guess I didn't know. And you realize, wow, I could have gotten that apology. I could have drawn those boundaries. I could have gotten that level of understanding before it had to turn into, a blow up. It's not about like making a fool of yourself, even though you do when you let your emotions fly like that. Really show your own weakness. It's more just about staying on top of who you are as a person. People respect you more if you can set defined boundaries. If you're easy to walk all over, people will walk all over you. I mean, people know this about prison. Even people that haven't been to prison, they've heard these stories of where you gotta punch somebody out if they call you a bitch or a punk, or you find the biggest guy in the room and you go knock him out in order to establish a pecking order. You've heard this, you've seen it in movies. There's a certain level of truth to that, of course, in prison, but there's a certain level of truth to that you can relate towards just social scenes. And it's not that you have to dominate others or push people around or become the bully. It's not an either or. It's all about establishing healthy boundaries. Just showing people who you are. A lot of people that joke around a lot and are real smiley and don't really have any serious moments. It's fine to be a comedian. It's fine to be real happy and go lucky and you laugh all the time. It's fine to be that way. But you have to be able to have your serious moments too, and to be able to show those too. You have to be able to show some depth of character. Well-rounded people who have depth of character that can laugh and cry and be angry and show all the healthy emotions are respected more in social scenes, in work scenarios. But you don't want to let your emotions take over too much. You want to be able to remain stoic, to remain in control of your emotions, but to still be able to express them at the same time. A lot of people think that stoicism means that you turn into a robot, that you don't express emotions, that you just turn into, this person that can't show happiness or can't show sadness or can't show anger. You can show those things. It's healthy to. It's a good idea to. But you want to rein it in. You don't want to let yourself get too overly emotional about anything. Because when you do, you end up getting out of your mind. People say, oh, this motherfucker's out of his mind. That's true. You can all of a sudden start acting irrationally, take things too far, say stuff that you regret. You want to be able to let stuff go. But you want to be able to make sure that people understand where you're coming from on any given scenario. So when you run into people that rub you the wrong way at work, in social scenes, in your family, at Thanksgiving or whatever. You have options. You can avoid these people if you're at work and you can't avoid them. You need to be able to find a way to communicate with these people. But you don't have to be friends with them. You don't have to engage in small talk. You just get down to business, keep it professional, and move on. And that's what I do. And I can deal with somebody that I don't like, and I've had to many times in my world of business. I've owned many businesses, and you don't like everybody. I've done business with people that I outright don't like. And you can say, well, I don't like that motherfucker, fuck him, I'm not going to do business. Well, that could be a loss of profits. Sometimes you have to do business with people you don't like. And the way I do it is keep it purely professional. We don't get personal in any way, shape, or form. And we always keep it about the dollar. Any conversation we're having is about money. It's about what you can do for me and what I'm going to do for you. And then I'm gone. And that way it establishes a certain level of relationship where this person may not like me either. And every time I leave their office, they may be like, fuck that motherfucker, fuck Sky. But when I come around, they take me serious because they know I'm talking about business. You can do this socially as well. Now, I suggest if you're socializing with people that make you feel uncomfortable, you need to be able to get on top of that right away. And you need to be able to have confrontations with people, and you need to be able to have confrontations with people that aren't going to turn into fist fights or gun battles or screaming matches where you're out front throwing rocks at each other. That is unhealthy. It's childish. It makes you look weak. It makes you feel weak. You never come away from that feeling empowered. Even if you beat somebody up because you don't like how they talk to you or you don't like how they treat you. You're not the hero in those scenarios. You turn into the villain. It's a real good idea to learn how to socialize with people in several different levels. To learn who your people are. Learn who you want to put in your inner circle. People that respect you would never say anything to hurt your feelings. They're conscious of your feelings and they will make sure that they don't say stuff that hurts you. It doesn't mean that they avoid hurting you. Sometimes you need to be a truth teller to your friends. I say always be a truth teller, but sometimes you really have to give that blunt truth to your friends and tell them, hey, that behavior that you're doing, you're fucking up. But you don't have to be abusive. The difference between abuse and telling somebody the truth is how you present your argument, how you come across. Many times when we say words like, you're fucked up, well, that's an attack. And all you're going to get back from that is a fight. Or if somebody's non-confrontational, they'll literally just run away from you because you just attacked them. They'll retreat and be like, oh my God. And you're trying to help them. And you're like, well, goddamn, I'm trying to help this motherfucker. I can't get through to him. You got to learn how to get through to people. And one of the ways that you do this is by speaking from a place of I. So you can say, instead of you're fucked up, you can say, I think you are fucking up right now. That's a loving statement. All of a sudden, that shows that you care. That'll catch somebody's ear. It's important to be able to establish appropriate relationships with people. And you're going to have your acquaintances, your confidants, the people that are in your inner circle. You may have a couple different circles. Your ride or dies, those types. And with every single level of socializing, whether it be at work, at home, family, wherever, out on the streets, there may be a slightly different way that you deal with people. But you want to be able to express yourself openly and honestly in all those scenarios, and to never be afraid of a confrontation, but to remain in control of your emotions as you're doing it. You want to be able to practice being serious. A lot of people have an easy time being giddy and happy and joking, and especially weak men. They over emote on the happiness side. They're always laughing. I can tell a weak man all the time easily, because this will be somebody that I've never seen in a serious mode. People have a full range of emotions, and the ones that only express this goofy laughter all the time, they're not just super happy people. They're not just little sweethearts. These are weak motherfuckers who are scared of confrontation, who are scared of their own thoughts, scared to piss anybody off because they are afraid that maybe they'll get beat up. Maybe they're afraid that they'll get outclassed in an argument. They've been taught by an overly dominant mother or father to never talk back, and they carry this kind of bullshit into their adult life. It'll eat you away inside to avoid confrontation, but you don't want to come across as somebody who's always looking for it. It's just all food for thought. Thanks for watching.